Hi everyone, and welcome to Rory Explain, the first episode where we talk about forces. That's it everyone, today's episode's on forces, and how forces interact with things to make the world go round. But here's the first big question. What's a force? A force is just a fancy physics word for a pull or a push. They're very important, because without them, you wouldn't be able to move. It's the law. Newton's first law.
An object at rest remains at rest until a force acts on it.
That seems pretty self-explanatory, right? But it misses out a really important bit. It's not the forces themselves that are important. It's what's called the resultant force.
You guys remember the story of Isaac Newton and his apple tree. While the apple was hanging in the tree, there were two forces acting on it, and it still didn't move. Only when the branch broke, and the force holding the apple up was removed, did it start to fall. Here's a more complex example, with lots of forces acting on an apple. It doesn't even have to be an apple. It can be whatever you like. We already know that if the resultant force acting is zero, then the apple won't accelerate. But how can we tell if that's the case? Here's a neat little trick. It's called a force polygon. You place all the forces nose to tail, and if you can follow it around in a loop, and end up back where you started, then this force polygon is called closed. That's all for this episode. If you'd like to know more about how a force polygon works, look up my episode on vectors. Or if you have any other questions, submit them in the comments below.